We think that one of the greatest humanitarian crises of our time is homelessness in the United States. We're one of the wealthiest nations in the world, if not the wealthiest nation in the world, and we have one of the highest rates of homelessness as well. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So, there's a lot of disparity between the wealthy and those who are in poverty in the United States. I think that contributes to it to some degree. Between 2016 and 2019, it seems like things really started to explode in Tulare County and in the United States. Tulare County in 2019 had the highest rate per capita of people who were unhoused, chronically unhoused in the United States, according to a HUD report. Once someone becomes homeless, it's extraordinarily difficult to get out of that system. To go and take care of the things in life that need to be handled to maintain housing or to recover housing for a person who's become unhoused, it's impossible. I actually had other plans for my life. I was doing some other things and really felt like I got a call, something that started to kind of burn inside that said, like, you need to serve the homeless. I actually ended up being on a board of a nonprofit, and they were serving people experiencing homelessness, and I didn't like the way it was going, and I didn't like what I saw. So eventually I started Salt and Light.
Founded in 2019, Salt and Light Works is a nonprofit organization based in Visalia, California that is dedicated to serving people experiencing homelessness in accordance to several guiding principles.
The values that we filter, really every decision we make, we filter them through those guiding values. And so those are dignity, radical hospitality, compassion and love, abundance, forged family, and belonging. And so those things are really important to us. So when we're making a decision, whether it be a business decision or a decision about a neighbor, we'll ask ourselves, well, is that dignified? Well, it's not dignified to feed people food that's expired. Like, we will not do that. It's not dignified to give people used underwear. We will not do that either. So that's how we operate with our guiding values. We really kind of sift through them to make sure that everything hits the right notes. We were really focused headlong really into having a village where people could restore and heal their lives and find purposeful work and create some relational community within a village setting. So we set off onto that path, and then what I didn't realize was I also hadn't started the nonprofit, so no one knew what Salt and Light was. There was a lot of educating that needed to happen, and also we really wanted to have a following of people who cared about the work we were doing, and so that we could explain why this could be meaningful. So we had no funding. I had one contract employee, and then COVID hit, March 2020. And when that happened, we had to regroup a bit, and then our local continuum of care, which is a pass-through for funding from the state and the federal government to this area. Some folks from that organization actually came to us and asked if we would consider feeding people on the streets who were stranded in Tulare in particular. So what we did was we ended up buying a food truck and starting a food truck outreach called Everyone Eats Today. Everyone Eats Today is a program that goes out in the cities of Tulare and Visalia 5 days a week, and we feed folks. And that started in 2020 at the height of the COVID crisis, to get food to people who were stranded on the streets without PPE or the ability to go into stores without masks and that kind of thing.
So I oversee the food truck operation that goes out into the community to serve meals and basic palliative care needs. From my perspective, the food truck encompasses everything that Salt and Light is. It's just mobile. We go out into the community and we show radical hospitality, abundance, dignity, and most of all, we're relational, human to human, heart to heart. The main focus of the food truck is to make sure that neighbors feel seen and known, and that they have value and that they have worth.
As we continued to work on the village plan, we then also started working on what we call neighbor care. And that neighbor care is case management and the help for people to navigate the system that we talked about is so difficult to navigate. And so we started building out that neighbor care department, and we have now a team of case managers and peer support specialists that go out and help people to doctor's appointments, get their driver's licenses, get document ready for housing, and then also get them into housing. So this year alone, one of our case managers actually has housed around 60 people into other affordable housing complexes around the county, and it's extraordinary, really.
My role here at Salt and Light is I'm the lead case manager. There really isn't any secret of how I've done it. I would say that my biggest thing is to build relationships with our neighbors first. And once I build relationships with them, they end up trusting me. And then, I end up building a relationship with them. So it just becomes easier once they are trusting me. And that means that they'll listen to me when I ask them to do things. And I'm always really straight up with them in the beginning and say, hey, I'll do my part and help get you housed, but you got to do your part too. So that's more like me giving them a hand up instead of a handout. And they end up doing that once they trust me. I've been successful at getting people housed. I probably, at this time, I think the last time I looked, like maybe 60 people, 61 people have gotten housed. And I think that the housing programs, they were amazing because I got to watch so many people go into these housing programs. And it's really about the case manager advocating for them. It's building relationships with the community partners and just advocating for your clients and saying, hey, this is this client's story and this is why they need housing.
So the Neighborhood Village is our flagship project. It's the thing that we're the most excited about. It's a 53-unit master plan community in Goshen, California. And it is going to open around June 1st, 2024.
So we'll go off of the coordinated entry system from Tulare County to help us figure out who's going to go into those homes. But it also will come with a dog park and a pet grooming station and a unity hall where we'll be able to watch movies and people are able to take classes. There's a medical facility down the street, Family Healthcare Network is down the street, and there'll also be like case management on site. We'll have wraparound services there. Mental health will be on site, so I'm excited.
There's nothing like it in California. So it's mobile homes, it's not tiny homes. Contrary to what a lot of people say about, they'll call it a tiny home village, it's really not. It's a mobile home village where our staff will all be on site every day. So super special. We really want to inspire other people into this model. So, dignity is expensive. And so dignity happens to be one of the first things that people cut off of a model for people experiencing homelessness, and it's so backward, right? It's just so not considering the long vision. And so what we really want to do is create an educational component to our organization where we can educate other orgs from all over the state of California and even outside of the state of California to be able to do something like this and to think outside of just getting people housed. And yes, people need housing to not be homeless, clearly. But housing alone does not solve homelessness, community does. So we really want to encourage and empower other organizations to be thinking more holistically around the care they provide for people experiencing homelessness. Plucking someone off the streets and putting them into a house and saying, we will send your case manager in a few weeks, good luck. To someone who's traumatized, has been living in survival mode for years and also looking for connection and belonging, that can feel like solitary confinement. It's not a great solution. And so what we really want to encourage other organizations to do is to just really think about that wraparound care that's necessary to keep someone safe, housed, recovering, healing, and restoring their lives.